Yay. Hi guys, Claire here for those of you who don't know me. Today we're number 18 Brave Sassy Vibes is the playlist. So if you want to get ready to pop that on, you will need today one or preferably two blocks. If you do have them at home, I'd get those ready. And if you know that you like to have a strap when we do a single leg extension out to the side, then make sure you have a strap available too. The first track on the playlist is silent, so just know that your stereo isn't broken. So we'll press play together now, and then I'll meet you down on your backs on the mats. And we'll just close our eyes and focus on our breath for a moment. We're focusing on Samavriti Pranayama, or in English that means equal breath. So first we'll take a big breath into the belly. And exhale, release. Let's take a big sigh. So we'll take a breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. And then we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And then continue at a count that feels good for you. Maybe you slow it down a little. If you are breathing a little faster than my count, I invite you to try to slow the breath down. Controlling the breath tricks the nervous system to relax. Tells our body that we're safe. And breathing deep into that belly, into the diaphragm, has the same effect. Seeing if you can release any tension in the arms. Maybe create space between the teeth so the jaw can relax down. Releasing any tension between the eyebrows, letting any little creases around the eyes soften. And just allowing yourself to arrive into your body, into this place of sensation in the physical body. Moving our attention to our breath can help us get out of our heads and into our bodies. And I invite you to really explore that in this class today, feeling into that body, getting out of the head, and using this practice as a moving meditation. Little wiggles of the fingers and toes, maybe licking the lips and moving your head from side to side. Bending your knees so that your feet are flat on the floor. And if you have your blocks nearby, if you grab a block. We're going to start with a pelvic reset. So place the block between the thighs. Tickle the backs of your heels like we're going into a bridge pose. Take a breath in to prepare, and exhale, just come up to a low bridge. So not to the full extension, but about halfway. So we squeeze that block, which is going to turn on the quads, and we ensure that we tilt the tailbone towards the heels and squeeze the glutes to ensure that the glutes are all turned on around the hip bones. A really nice way to ensure that this is happening is you can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your lower back, on your tailbone, and you can actually just invite your tailbone to tilt towards the heels, and you can pull your belly towards your face. So what this is doing is encouraging your lower belly abdomen to turn on and tilting the tailbone so your glutes turn on. So if you ever need that, it's a nice little assist for yourself to make sure that everything's working the way it should. Keep pushing through the heels and then pull your heels towards your body. Hands up over the top of your head with spider fingers. So my fingers are touching each other, each finger. And now protract through the shoulders. So we're pushing those shoulders up towards the roof. This is going to start to engage the scapula. So here, push your fingers in towards each other as much as you can to create friction, tension, which then turns on all the muscles through the arms and the shoulders. And breathe. Keep squeezing those glutes. Don't let them sag down. They should really start to almost get a bit of heat now. Now we're going to move the hands away from the axis, the center of the body, which is going to put more tension on the core. So open the hands, keeping that tension in the fingers, opening the hands out to the side and hovering them just off the floor. If this is too much, just don't come as far. So keep trying to get those arms as wide as possible. Keep tense through those fingers, protracting through those shoulders as much as you can, and hovering off the floor. Exhale, gently bring those hands back together. Fingertips touch, push them into each other, protract through shoulders. So the actual shoulder heads are off the floor. It's just my upper back that's on the floor right now. Keep squeezing those glutes. Don't let those legs drop. They should be starting to shake. As we open up, we inhale. Hands come down to float just off the floor. Keep really strong through those shoulders. Exhale, come back to center. Lowering the hands down and slowly bringing upper back, middle back, lower back to floor. Those of you who did Brave Sculpt, I'm feeling quite sore, so I could definitely feel my glutes after that. I hope you can also feel them too. And then windscreen wiping your legs from side to side. Put the block down for a moment. We're going to use that same movement of extending the hands out away from the central axis of the body to create tension. So interlace hands behind the neck and head. We're going to keep the feet on the floor for now. Elbows to the roof. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to rise up. So the shoulder blades are coming off the floor. We'll use the left hand so you can see me. So I'm going to reach with the left hand about 70 degrees. So reaching up almost over the knee. And I'm going to have my shoulders off the floor. My right hand is supporting my head. Hand back just behind the head and inhale down. Exhale, rise up again, other side. So we're reaching at about 70 degrees. Both shoulder blades are off the floor, pushing the lower back into the floor. Left hand is holding the head. Hand comes back, inhale, drop. Exhale, one more each side. So come up and reach through the left hand over that knee. Shoulders are off the floor, yeah? Push those feet into the floor, hold. Hands comes back behind the head, inhale to lower. So the abs are starting to turn on. Exhale, other side. So we come up and reach through the right hand over that knee. Keep supporting the neck with that left hand. Abs should be starting to burn. Hand comes back to center. Inhale, come down. We're not done yet. Exhale, rise up. Left hand reaches. And then from here, we're going to take that principle of opening the shoulder to the side. This is going to start to really burn in the core. And hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Take it back. Hand behind the head. And then lower. Breath in to prepare. Exhale to rise. Right hand reaches up. Exhale, open up to the side. If it's too much to open right to the side, just go halfway or to whatever point feels like your abs are really working. Just go to your edge. Exhale, come back. Hand behind the head. Inhale down. One more each side. Exhale to rise. Left hand reaches. Exhale, open to the side. See if you can get those shoulders off the floor as much as you can. Inhale back to center. Hand behind the head, exhale, and lower down. Inhale. Exhale, rise up. Right hand reaches. You're starting to feel your core now. And then out to the side, breath in. Hold. Exhale back to center. Hand behind head. Inhale to drop. Oh my God. Nice job. And then windscreen wipe the legs. Did you feel that, Rosso? I definitely felt that. I don't know if it was just me because I was sore, but that was hard. So we're going to have a little rock and roll forward and back, if that feels nice for you. We're coming into a dolphin. So now we start to open up through the shoulders. I'll turn this up a little bit. So grab your biceps, have your hands out in front of you, and we'll come into a dolphin first. So we're going to tuck the toes and just start to straighten the legs. Now, you don't have to have your legs dead straight. It's okay to have them bent, and then look towards your feet so your neck is nice and long. I'd much rather you're like this than if you're straightening your legs and you're doing a curve in the spine. So you want the back to be nice and strong. Walk the legs a little further so that your body is coming over your arms. This is going to create more weight in the arms, which makes it more challenging. You can keep those knees bent or you can have them a little bit more straight. Just have a play. Look towards the feet. Now, spread your feet wider, so to the sides of the mat. So taking a really wide dolphin pose. The left hand now is going to come down onto the floor so that your elbow and your wrist are at a right angle from each other. So they're stacked. And then just keep relaxing, looking down towards your feet. This is called flash prep in forest yoga, or it's called a funky dolphin. So now come onto the tippy fingers of the left hand. Your option now is to bring that left hand up behind you and place it on your lower back. So this is going to really put that pressure in that right shoulder and build strength. Keep protracting, so don't sink down so your head is touching the floor. If your head is touching the floor, you need to push into the floor and raise up a little more. Exhale, lower that left arm down, back to where you were. Option to lower down and have a break for a moment or stay in your dolphin with me. Have another breath. And then exhale, the right hand comes down to the floor so that your right elbow is stacked over the right wrist at a 90 degrees. Well, yeah. And then Ross has been telling me off for my degrees. I've been off apparently. And from here, you can come off onto the tips of your fingers on your right hand, and you can slowly bring them up to your lower back. This is just an option. If the first one is enough for you and your shoulders, then stay there. Push into that shoulder, protract. Don't sink and headbutt the floor. Try and grow. One more breath, and exhale. Lower that right hand and bring the knees to the floor and have a little child's pose. Gently, when you're ready, start to push up onto your hands to a tabletop. We'll walk our hands a little further forward, tuck the toes, and push up and back to a downward facing dog. Walking out the legs, pedaling through the knees. This will help you get into those hamstrings. We've got a lot of stretching in the hamstrings coming up today. There we go. My playlist wasn't playing. Lots of fun. Look between the hands. Option to step or jump between the hands. So a nice little step is a good first to start. Inhale to flat back. So hands onto shins, stretch through the back, gaze to floor. Exhale, fold over the legs, bend the knees as much as you need. And as you bend the knees, slowly roll up, hands come through heart center, reach up to sky, big breath in, and exhale, hands to heart. So today we're playing with being comfortable in the uncomfortable. And we say that a lot in yoga. And what it means is being comfortable in the uncertainty and using that as an opportunity to grow or to be creative. So today you're going to have some uncomfortable, weird postures that you might not be used to. Some of you have been doing this sequence with me for a little bit. And just checking the comments that you can hear me okay. Oh, hey, Lydia. Nice to see you. And I want you to just embrace that feeling of not being great at a pose or something being difficult or uncomfortable. Because that's life, isn't it? Let's be real. Nothing's great all of the time. Inhale, hands up to sky, breath in. And exhale to fold. Inhale halfway. Breath out, hands to floor. Step or jump back into high plank. So your option here for your first chaturanga is to stay high or to lower the knees to the floor. We're going to bring the chest forward and suck those elbows towards the body so that you're like a tricep dip all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. If you want more, push into the tops of the feet and raise the hands up to wake up that upper back. Exhale, hands to floor, tuck the toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. At any point, if you want more from the class, whenever we go to a down dog, you're welcome to bend the elbows and come into a turbo down dog. If you're working on inversions or handstands, this is a great option to build shoulder strength. Otherwise, a normal downward facing dog is great. Inhale, the right leg rises. Exhale, sweep between the hands. Inhale, rise. So we're coming deep into this lunge here. If you are quite tight in the hips, you might feel more comfortable with a bent back knee. If you want to work on your hip opener, you're going to straighten the leg and push that back heel almost towards the floor to get more into rectus femoris. Rotate the shoulders, relax through the neck. Warrior two, we drop that back heel to the floor, get deep into the front knee, gaze to front middle finger. Push down through the blade edge of that back foot. Thighs are rotating open. Push the glutes under the body so the butt is not sticking out. And exhale, hands to floor, frame the foot, step back and flow. Options are knees on the floor or chaturanga to the floor or to 90 degrees in the elbows. Breath in, come up dog. Breath out, down dog. Pedaling the knees. Having a little smile to yourself. You made it onto your mat, your first act of self-love for the day. Maybe you had a nice breakfast, made yourself a nice coffee. Have a think for a moment of all those little acts of self-love you've taken this morning and have a smile to yourself. Raise the left leg up, breath in. Exhale, sweep between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge. Get deep into the lunge here, push through that back heel and just make sure your hip bones are square to the front of the mat. A little bend in the elbows is fine to relax through those shoulders. Exhale, warrior two. We drop that back heel down 60 to 90 degrees, get deep into the hips. Gaze to front middle finger. I like to lift the toes on my front foot to make sure my legs are working and push through that front heel. Hands to floor and flow. Option if you want to step it up, one-legged chaturanga, 90 degrees. Come up and float the thighs. Breath in, come up dog. Breath out, downward facing dog. Right leg rises. Exhale between the hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Flip front palm, reach forward to get length through the back. Reverse warrior. Reach up as much as you can and back. So we reach up for the purpose of getting space in the lower spine. Keep the front knee bent and release neck and head. Exhale, straighten that front leg, reach forward, triangle pose, tilting down towards front ankle, reaching through top hand, but rather than dumping, pulling up, using the core to support the upper body, squeezing the legs together to get lift through the thighs and the torso. Release the head. Bend through the knee, extended side angle. So we're going deep into the thigh here. The top arm can remain the same. We're still in that side angle movement. We just bent the front knee. Option to come to the floor if you want a little bit more flexibility. Can you release your jaw? Maybe you're noticing you're clenching your teeth a little. Top hands flips around onto the floor. Come up onto the blade of the back foot. Reach up into a twist. Hands to floor and flow. Step back. Maybe a one-legged chaturanga, maybe knees down. Breath in, squeeze the glutes, come up dog. Breath out, down dog, push through heels. Inhale the right leg up. Did I just do the right leg, Ross? Or the left? I can't remember. Let's do the right leg and sweep forward between the hands and come up. I think we did left, so let's go back to left. And exhale, warrior two. That's right. Sometimes you get confused as a yoga teacher. Lefts and rights are really hard. Flip the front palm, reach forward, and then come into your reverse. You wouldn't think that would be something that you would get wrong a lot. I even get it wrong when I'm driving. I think I'm a bit special sometimes. And then exhale, we're going to straighten through that front leg, reach forward, tilt down into triangle pose. I like to come a little bit closer with my stance in triangle. I feel more secure to pull my legs together and reach through the top hand. Again, you can activate through the toes, so you don't have to lift them totally, but just have them active, which is going to turn on all these muscles that protect the knee. I injured my knees in running a long time ago, and yoga has helped me a lot to fix them. And then we bend through that front knee and we come into extended side angle. So the top hand stays up. Again, a really nice cue here is to push your glutes a bit more underneath the body. This is going to open the hips. If the bum is out the back like you're trying to pick up at a nightclub, that's not the look we're going for. You've got to tilt the tailbone down and lift through the core. What that's going to do is open through the hips. Option to come down to the ground if you feel like you want a bit more flexibility. Release neck and head. Top arm comes down to the floor, come onto the back toes and open to the left. Hands to floor and float. Choose your option. Absolutely fine. Pop knees on the floor, reach forward and down. Inhale, upward facing dog, roll shoulders back. And exhale into downward facing dog and taking a few breaths. Inhale, raising that right leg up. Exhale between the hands. Breath in, crescent lunge. Breath out, warrior two. Straighten that front leg. We're going to reach forward and go back into triangle. So if you do know you have hypermobile joints, have a little bend in that knee. Otherwise, it's fine to keep it straight. Relax that right ear towards right shoulder. Reach through top arm. Maybe grab your ankle on the right side and pull up to activate through all the upper body. If you do have a block, we're going into a revolved triangle, also known as revolting triangle because it's hard. So if you do want a block, I like to have a block for this one because my hips are tight. So you're welcome to join me with a block. That top hand drops around onto a block and you can twist open to the right. So the block positioning is about in line with your back toes. If you want it more intense, the block gets closer to that right foot or even onto the outside of the right foot for the deepest twist. Release neck and head. For me, I'm going to stay on the inside of the foot because twists are not my forte. And relax left ear to left shoulder. If you want to work on core, you can float the hand. One more breath. Bend through that front knee to protect the hamstring. Slowly roll up. Come up, hands to heart center or to over the head would be better. And toes out to the sides of the mat. Place the hands on the hips like you're getting sassy, just like our playlist. And then pop your thumbs into your sacrum and fingers around your hips, elbows back, squeeze the glutes. Have a little back bend, chin to chest. And exhale, fold forward over the legs. So I walk my feet a little wider when I fold forward. Toes go the same direction as the knees. So you just want to check. Knees are going out towards the sides of the mat. And then inhale, lengthen through chest and exhale, fold. A little bend, a micro bend in the knees is fine, especially if you have very tight hamstrings. A little shake of the head and the shoulders is a great move to just see if there's any more tension that you can let go of. Option to walk the hands through the legs, palms onto the floor, and gently encouraging your head towards the ground. If you're quite bendy and your head is right on the floor, you have a few options. You can bring your feet closer together so it's harder, or you can come into your headstand if you have a headstand here. Those who are staying with me, you can have a big toe grab. So grabbing the toes with the first two fingers, push the thumb into the floor. Inhale to lengthen through spine. Exhale to lower over the legs, elbows to the roof. This just creates more of a stretch because you're pulling your torso towards your legs now rather than just gravity. Inhale, lengthen through spine, hands come under the face. Exhale, snake squat down to the right. So you might be up here for your squat, that's fine. You might be all the way to the floor with your right heel raised, or you might have both heels on the floor. Hands can come to prayer. And just see if you can find a little softness here so gravity can help you into this pose. If you have a bind, you can find your bind. Don't worry if you fall over, it's all part of the journey. Hands to the floor, gently walk to center, and then to the other side. So lowering down to the left. We bring the toes up towards the roof for that stretch down the back of the leg. Hands come to heart center wherever you are. Maybe there's a bind there if you have your heels on the ground. If you're a little higher, hands can come still to prayer. You can support yourself with your elbow. Hands on the floor, walk back to center. Inhale, lengthen through chest, hands on the hips. Come up halfway, breath in. Exhale, bend through knees, slowly roll up. Turn both your feet towards the back of the mat. Step your back foot halfway up. We're going into pyramid. Option to use blocks here. Really great if you're starting out with yoga and starting out with alignment. Put the hands on your hips. Make sure both your hip bones are facing towards the front of the room. Grab your hips and actually tilt your entire hip bones forward. So this is what we want rather than rounding through the back. Option to place your hands on blocks and to work on lengthening through chest and for the exhale, folding forward through the first is the movement of that pelvis. So you can actually even put your hands on your pelvis again. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just fold the actual pelvic bones forward. So rather than rounding through the spine, we're moving from the pelvis, which is going to get the stretch through all of those hip flexors, especially the hamstring. Inhale, lengthen through spine. We come into a twist, twisted pyramid. So that block can be in line with your right foot. Inhale, lengthen through chest. You can place your hand on the block and exhale to twist to the left. Check your hips. They should not be twisting. The twist comes only from the back. So if they are, straighten the hips, come onto a block and twist to the left. If you're more bendy, hand can be on the floor, on the fingertips, or even the outside of that foot on the left. You can even have a play if you want more strength to lift off the floor. Choose your option. One more breath. And exhale, fold over the legs, step feet together, ragdoll, grabbing the elbows, having a little rock from side to side. Nice job. All those twists are quite nasty. Can feel quite intense sometimes, so well done. Inhale halfway. It's great for detoxifying the body and all the organs in the torso. Hands to floor, step back, and move through your flow. So option, knees up or down. Breath in, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Push through heels. Walk out the legs. Your down dog can definitely have bent knees. Mine are even more straight. They were bent for years. So please, when you're looking at a yoga teacher, know that they've been practicing for hundreds and hundreds of hours. So when I first started, my heels were lifted and my knees were bent. So just have a play with what feels good in your body. Inhale, left leg rises, breath in. Exhale, step between the hands. Breath in, crescent lunge. Breath out, warrior two. Now straighten through that front arm, reach forward and tilt down. Triangle pose. We're going to grab the left ankle and then pull up, which you'll start to feel all of your lower back starting to work. I'm going to move my back leg a little closer forward and squeeze them towards each other. So it's almost like your heels are magnetized towards each other to create enthusiasm in the legs. Left ear to left shoulder, just let it relax. We come into twisted triangle, revolving triangle. Place the right hand onto a block, lengthen through the chest and exhale, open towards the left. If you want to go deeper without a block, hands to the floor and onto your fingers or even onto the outside of that left leg. That's quite intense twist. So just take it at whatever feels like your edge and what feels good for your body. One more breath. Oh, I haven't done this one in a while. It's quite hard. Exhale, that left hand comes down. Bend through the knee to slowly roll up. Hands come through heart center, then over the head. Toes reach out to the edges of your mat. Thumbs into sacrum, fingers around hips, elbows back. Turn on the glutes. Open the chest, little back bend. And exhale, fold forward. So with this fold forward, if you did a headstand on the other side, you're welcome to just stay with us in the stretch this time. Place the right hand under your face and then open your left hand towards the roof into a twist through the spine. Exhale, left hand under your face, maybe in a fist so that you don't have extension through the wrist, and open to the right for a twist to the right. Both hands to the floor, framing your face. Snake squat to the left. So we're coming deep into the thighs, maybe hands at heart center. Maybe there's a bind for you. Now, option to use your hands or try and use just strength to come back to center and then down to the other side. So you can have a play with different versions of this, but using your hands is much more supportive. So take your option that feels good. There's a bind, or if you're higher up, just staying with your hands to heart center. One more breath. Exhale, hands to floor, walking your hands back, coming back to a forward fold. Inhale, hands under face, come up halfway, place your hands on your hips, bend through the knees, slowly roll up. Inhale deeply, turn both your feet towards the back of the mat, step your back foot halfway up, we're coming into pyramid pose. Hands on the hips, hands on the hips. Tilt from the hips down, it's all in the hips, baby. So you're actually grabbing your hip bones and turning your entire pelvis forward. So that means that we're not rounding through the back. Again, if you use blocks, it's really great to start off using blocks. Reach through the chest and exhale to fold forward. Another little option for a self-assist, hands on the hip bones. And as you fold forward, actually move the pelvis forward. A little micro bend in that front knee is totally cool. Hands on the floor. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Release neck and head, give it a little shake. If you're noticing that it's holding some tension there, I always have to re-cue myself to release the neck and the jaw because it's always tight. Inhale, walking the hands forward, straight back. Coming into a twist. So left hand comes to a block or to the floor. Block can be in line with the back left foot or closer to the right foot or on the outside, depending on how much of a twist you want. Inhale, lengthen through chest. Exhale, twist to the right. Hips are even. Check them out. Are they twisting? They should be straight to the top of the mat, and the entire twist is coming from the torso. Relax left ear to left shoulder. Reach through top hand. Little smile. Be comfortable in the discomfort. One of the most irritating things that yoga teachers say, but it's true, right? Out of the most uncomfortable poses come the most benefits. And they should be the ones we do more often. Exhale, the hands come down to the floor. Step your back foot forward. Hands come into ragdoll. And a little rock from side to side. Folding forward over the thighs. Having your feet nice and wide. And bring your forearms behind your calf muscles. Elbows behind your knees. And then as you inhale, lengthen through spine, and exhale, pull yourself even closer over your thighs. And start to straighten your legs behind you. What's going to happen is that your arms are going to start to straighten your legs, and you're going to be pulling yourself so that your torso is on your quads, which is going to intensify the hamstring stretch. Inhale, walk the hands out in front of your face. Walk your feet together or shimmy them together. Sweep hands behind you, breath in. Exhale into chair. So chair pose, tilt that tailbone, the same movement as what we did in bridge. What this does is activate all through the core. Don't over round so that you turn your glutes off, because that's not going to be helpful. Just enough to feel that core engage without dumping in the lower back. We have some playtime. Are you ready to fly? Hands to heart center. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist towards the right. So those of you who don't like arm balances, stay in the twist. If you like trying side crow, hands to floor, make that little ledge with the elbows, bend the elbows a lot, and then come up. So option for straight legs, stacked, which is harder, or scissors. One more breath. And whenever you've had enough, coming out back through your twist, and then folding over the legs. If you're still flying, you're welcome to stay there for a minute while we all relax and stretch forward. Those arm balances really help to get the heart rate moving. Next option, we're going to interlace 2 fingers around the big toe on the right. Get that left leg nice under your body because we're going to step up on that left leg. We're going to pull up on the big toe and then push down with the big toe to get enough tension to slowly start to rise up with control. If this is too much, just meet me in stag, which is this pose. You can place your hands on your shin, or if you know that you need a strap for a leg extension, you can do that as well. I'll use that one on this to show you. Otherwise, if you have a big toe grab, you're going to extend the leg in front of you, push through the heel. Left hand on the hip is a nice option to help you feel balanced. This is when you need to smile, because just like life, balance in yoga often reflects what's going on. So if you've fallen over, it's often a discomfort in the mind at the time. Exhale out to the side. At the moment, I think all of us may find balance quite challenging because of the things that are happening in our lives at the moment and not very balanced. So if you're falling out, just be kind to yourself. Push through the heel. Lift the leg a little higher if you want it to be harder. Breath in, bring that leg in. So we're going to bend the knee and drop the strap if you use that option. And then we're going to do my favorite pose, which is a leg extension. So this is stretching through strength. So breath in to prepare. Exhale, fall over. No, don't fall over. Exhale through the heel. Straighten the leg for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Lift it up. One more time. Extend for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Sweep behind you, airplane pose. Using that right glute to raise that top leg. Hips stay even though. Just watch that right hip is not opening to the side. Make sure it's even to the floor. Option to stay here or standing leg splits. So folding forward over the front leg. If you're working on flexibility, stay here and try and raise that top leg, maybe grabbing the back of your ankle and pulling yourself over that leg. If you're working on strength, come onto the tippy toes of that left foot. Opportunity for handstands. So if you have a wall at home, jump up against the wall and try and hold a handstand. Otherwise, little tiny hops is all that you need to do. You don't have to get up. You just have to have little tiny hops and down. Even if they're like little bunny hops like this, it's still going to get your heart rate going. And when you have enough, grab your arms and come into ragdoll, or if it feels better to come into a low squat, have your head above your heart. That's also an option. And just start to slow the breath. When we go into those inversions with the head below the heart, it brings in an element of cardio because the heart has to work harder to pump the blood against gravity. So that's why all those poses get your heart rate really going. That's why they're good. That's why we like them. And exhale, fold over the legs if you're in a squat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step feet together. Sweep hands behind you. Breath in. Exhale, come into chair. Get deep into your chair. Don't be afraid of the chair. Tilt the tailbone. Squeeze your thighs together. This is a great movement for fire and strength. So we need a little bit of extra work because we're sitting on our butts a lot at the moment. So let's use this as an opportunity to use those muscles. Option to twist. Hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale to twist to the left. So you can keep your hands at prayer or hands both into fists for less extension in the wrist, or one into a fist, whatever feels better. Option for side crow. If you want to try it, place the hands on the floor, fingers nice and wide, make a little shelf, bend the elbows a lot, and you want to bring the body to rest on the upper arm. And this is like a little lever. You start to look at Ross, well done. Ross is getting it. Maybe open the legs for scissors. Try not to dump into that left shoulder towards the floor. If you find that you're doing that, try and raise it up. And meet me back into a twist when you're all done. And a fold forward. Again, that heart rate should really start to lift up doing the arm balances. Get the right foot underneath the body, interlace fingers around the left toe, get ready to stand up. So we push into the left leg, pull the fingers against the left toe, and we slowly rise up. Hands on the hips helps. Coming into stag, if you don't do that option, just come to standing. Option for your leg extensions, just grabbing, holding onto your shin, okay? Otherwise, extend through the toes with or without a strap and breathe. If it does hurt your big toe, which sometimes it does for me, I sometimes hold the outside of my foot, which still works. Inhale to lengthen through chest and exhale to open to the side. So the higher your leg is, the harder it is, and the straighter your leg is, the more of a stretch you're getting through your hamstring. Try and keep your hip bones to the side of the mat so they're straight. So all of that opening is happening through the muscles of the hips rather than a twist of the hips. So the hip bone should be straight. Inhale to center. Are you ready for the fun part? Bend the knee. Get ready to prepare. This is my least favorite pose, which is why I have to do it. Extend through the heel for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee and lift. Extend for 3, 2, 1. Sweep behind you, airplane. Palms to floor, flex that back toe. That back heel and front head are intended to be in one line. Maybe hands to heart if you're finding it hard to balance. Option for standing leg split. So coming over that front leg, either into flexibility, stay here, or strength. Come onto the tippy toes. Look at where you want to go. Push through those shoulders and little tiny jumps up. Even if you're really heavy this morning, like I feel, it still gets the heart going, which is the main thing. After you've had a few, bring your hands together over the back and maybe over the legs. We come into a fold forward with more of an opening through the shoulders as an option. Otherwise, a rag doll is totally fine. Hands onto the floor. Inhale halfway and exhale, fold. Step back or jump back into a high plank. Now move through your flow. So high to low plank. Inhale to come up and exhale, down dog. Walking out through the legs. Now, if you do have 2 blocks, this is a bit of fun for you if you want to work on what you call jump throughs. So Cara, I know you're online, you're going to love this because it's from Ashtanga. So you're going to have your blocks here. Blocks just allow you to rise up off your glutes a bit more. I'll show you what I'm trying to go for. When you do a jump through, we're going to practice pushing into the blocks and raising the glutes up off the floor. The double legs is the hardest version of that, lifting the legs as well, which is why we did the leg extension before. It's the same movement. Those quads need to be really strong to lift the weight of the legs. So if that's too much for you, when you jump through, you're just going to be going into a Navasana, which is torturous in itself. So we all have options. Place the blocks down, coming into a down dog with your hands on the blocks, gripping around the sides. So if you want to see where my hands are, palm of my hand is right at the edge, and I can grab around the block. And that's going to put the weight more into my calf muscles. And you can have a little pedal from side to side. Are you ready for a jump through? So we're going to look where we want to go. So look between the hands, bend the knees, and see when you jump, you can jump into a cross-legged position. Try and get a little bit of a launch and control the jump forward. Maybe there's a hover. Maybe if you really want to push yourself, the legs go straight and then down. Torturous, isn't it? You can thank Ashtanga for that. So we're doing a lot of those today in between our fold forwards. So blocks to the side, right foot comes in towards the body and out to the side. Reach up through chest and exhale, fold over to the left. So in between each of our fold forwards, we're going to be doing those jump throughs to keep that intensity, to keep the energy through the more otherwise restful part of the class. If you don't want that intensity today and you feel something more nurturing, you can just skip the jump throughs and you can just take it for an easy, light vinyasa. Inhale, slowly lower, bring yourself up. And we're going to straighten the right leg. Bring the left knee in towards the body and out to the side. I remove that glute padding so I'm on my sit bones. Reach high through the chest and then fold forward over the right. So we try that fold forward comes from the hips. It's exactly the same as the pyramid pose that you were doing earlier. So rather than rounding through the upper back tries to stay straight, and that pelvis is what moves because that is what is connecting to our legs. Our legs and our pelvis are connected when we walk and run, which is what we're trying to stretch here. So if we're rounding through the back, we're not really getting the stretch through those hip flexors and the legs. Gently walking the hands up, cross the legs. Are you ready for a little fun? So we're going to push into the blocks. You can do this without the blocks as well, and see if you can just lift the glutes up. If you want to have a play in lotus, you can do the same thing, where you go into a lotus position and you just raise the hips up off the floor. This is going to use all similar muscles. So if you don't have blocks, you can play with that. Otherwise, straighten the legs and just try and lift the glutes up, okay? Option for jump through. If you're in your cross-legged, trying to jump through into a plank, come through high to low, inhale to up dog, and exhale down dog. A normal vinyasa is totally fine too. Ready to jump through, look between the hands, bend the knees, try to get some height, cross the legs, maybe straighten the legs out, and come down. Remove the blocks. Second option, we're going to come into half hero version of fold forward. So that bend the right knee, so the top of the foot is on the floor, knees are together, or as together as feels comfortable, same width as the hips. Remove the padding onto the glutes, reach up through chest, fold forward over left. If this is too much, just go back to the version before. You don't need to be a hero today. You can just listen to your body and do what feels good. This is a deeper version of the single leg forward fold. And for me, it actually feels quite nice on this side. Don't know about the other side. Gently walk your hands up. And we straighten that right leg and we bend the left knee in. Top of the foot's onto the floor. The knees are about the same distance as your hips. And from here, I always remove glutes from under my hips, reach up and fold. If you have your hands on the floor onto your pinky fingers, you can inhale, lengthen through chest and almost pull your chest forward, which is going to create more space between the vertebrae as you fold forward. If there's any compression, it'll help you work through that. One more breath. Gently walking the hands up, we're stacking each vertebra. Straighten the legs out in front of you, get your blocks. See if you can lift the glutes up or without the blocks, if that's fine. Maybe you try to lift the legs. That's hard. Bend cross the legs, try a little jump through, see if you can jump back into plank. Just step back if that's too much and come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. One more jump through. Look between the hands, bend the knees, jump through, control the jump. Maybe you can straighten the legs, come down. Last version of the fold forward. Bend the right knee in towards the body. See if you can reach behind for a bind. Now, if this doesn't feel good, it's an indication you should stay at one of the other versions that felt better for your body. And then fold forward. From the side. Yoga is the practice of doing what feels good. If something doesn't feel nice, don't do it. There should be, in saying that, there should be a level of pushing yourself in that theme of being okay with discomfort, because without discomfort, we can't grow. So in the same sense, if you're always comfortable and living in your comfort zone, growth will be limited. So it's playing and flirting with that edge, which is important. There should not be any pain, but there should be a little bit of discomfort in that stretch. Then you learn to love it. Then gently release the hands, slowly walk the hands up. Straighten through spine. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. We're going to reach through first with that left hand and reach behind, maybe bind the hands. Reach through chest and exhale, fold. I feel this much more in my mid to lower back than the other fold forwards. So maybe that is how you feel this as well. Or it could be totally different for you. And that's what's so cool about yoga, as we all experience the same pose very differently. Staying for one more breath. Releasing the hands, placing the hands on the floor, and then walking them up slowly. So we're stacking the vertebrae. The bent knee goes over the top of the straight leg. Right hand hooks around for Lord of the Fish. So we're twisting through the spine, which is going to help us realign. Chin can just draw towards chest, doesn't have to look back. Inhale to center, exhale, counter stretch, hands to floor, lower the chest to floor. Exhale, inhale, rise. Straighten both legs, bend the right knee over the top of the left leg. We go to the other side. Left arm hooks around, Lord of the Fish, towards the left. So twisting that spine is one of my favorite poses. Inhale to center, exhale, hands to the left, counter stretch. We lower the chest. Inhale up. And then we'll slowly come back onto our backs. Take a block with you all the way to the floor. We have option for bridges with a block. If you want something more, more intense, we'll give you that option as well. We'll do 2 bridges. So tickle the backs of your heels, inhale to prepare, and exhale to rise up. So the first option is to have that block between the thighs and squeeze them together. You can even use that assist we used in the first bridge, which is tilting the pelvis down and pulling that belly up so that lower abdomen turns on. Now, if you're not using the block, you can do some leg raises. So interlace hands behind you, roll the shoulders open, walk that right foot into the center of the mat. Inhale, we're going to bend that left knee in and exhale, straighten through the heel towards the roof. This is getting you ready for a wheel leg raise, so it's good practice if you want to get to that pose. Inhale, bend the knee in, exhale, drop. Then walk the left foot to the center of the body. Exhale, the right knee into the body. Inhale, and exhale, then extend through the heel. Keep pushing through that left heel. Keep using those glutes, feel the shake. Inhale, we're going to bend the knee and exhale down. Release the hands, upper back, middle back, lower back comes to floor. Windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Last option is another bridge of your choice with a block or a restorative bridge, which is placing the block under the sacrum and coming into a more restful version. Or we come into wheel. I'll come into wheel with you because I need practice. I'm losing my back bends. So if you're coming into wheel, choose your bridge or wheel. Hands towards the body, elbows towards the roof. So they're not going out to the side. Fingers are facing towards the torso. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, I prefer if you try to lift up the full way. I don't really like coming onto the crown of the head because the neck is super sensitive. Doesn't sound very clever to me doing that. So that's why I don't do it or teach it. So option to come up onto tippy toes is easier. If you want more of a back bend, you're going to push through heels because that'll engage the glutes and encourage extension of the hips, which is a deeper back bend. So this will actually get you into a deeper back bend. Straightening the arms will make it harder. Bending the arms will make it easier. So you can have a play with what feels good. One more breath. Maybe leg raises in wheel if you want to. And when you've had enough, chin to chest, slowly come down onto the upper back. And then imagine you're lowering your spine like a chain on the floor, each one at a time. Knees can TP together or windscreen wipe from one side to the other. So your spine has had a wonderful day today of some flexion and extension. So hopefully it gives you lovely energy for the rest of the day. Straighten the legs out, bring the right knee in towards the chest, pull it in nice and tight. The purpose of pulling it in is we're pushing that spine against the floor, and the hard surface is realigning the back against the straight floor. Exhale, the knee comes over the body for supine twist. Left hand can encourage that right knee towards the floor. And closing the eyes. You've just done something really awesome for your body today. Your body's been able to move in a way that humans should. We should be moving more than we do. So having a moment to be grateful for this amazing vessel that carries you through life. And feel happy that you have given it a little service today. Inhale back to center, straighten the right leg out. The left knee comes in towards the chest. I love Kim Kardashian's quote when people ask her why she doesn't have any tattoos, and she says, "Would you put a bumper sticker on a Mercedes?" Exhale, bring the right knee over the top of the body to the opposite side. And that's the way I feel about yoga. It's like a service for the body. Imagine your car is a sports car, and if you don't service it, eventually it'll start to fall apart. I also feel the same way about nutrition. So you wouldn't put low quality fuel in a sports car. So why don't we all start to see ourselves a bit more like a sports car at the moment? Fine-tuned machine. Inhale back to center. And then taking any last movements you feel. A little happy baby is always nice. We've done a lot in the back today, a lot of twists, a lot of folds, and also some back bends too. So if you do have a little bit of a tweaky back, it's been a full-on one today. So maybe a little extra realignment before Shavasana would be nice. And then bending through the knees and straightening the legs out, coming into your final resting pose. And letting your body become completely soft. If you wish to stay a little longer in your Shavasana, please do. I encourage you to stay as long as you need. If you wish to exit the class with me, you can gently wiggle your fingers and maybe brush the thumb across each tip of your fingers and feel that sensation in the body. Maybe licking the lips and gently moving the head from side to side, massaging the back of the head on the floor. Inhale, reaching through hands and bottoms of feet to stretch through spine. And exhale, knees into chest, giving yourself a little cuddle for this class that you've gifted to yourself today. This act of self-love, of tuning that beautiful machine that is your body. It works so hard for you every single day without you even having to think about it. When you're ready, rolling onto your favorite side and using your bottom arm as a pillow, and gently helping yourself up to a comfortable seated position and having your eyes closed and hands rested on your thighs. And I will finish with a quote today. And it is that the truth is that our finest moments are most likely to occur when we are feeling deeply uncomfortable, unhappy, or unfulfilled. For it is only in such moments, propelled by this discomfort, that we are likely to step out of our own ruts and start searching for the truer answers. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen through chest. And sighing out. And I know at the moment things are not easy, and I'm so proud of you for showing up on the mat and doing something for yourself. And I hope that this has been able to shift some feelings or sensations in the body to help you feel a little lighter and better. Namaste. Thank you for your energy and your time. And I will see you guys all soon online. Thank you. Have a happy Saturday. I miss you guys. Hope to see you soon.